In the headlines, bandits kill 4, injure 5 others in Kaduna State. 8 rescued in Niger boat mishap. Flood looms in Adamawa, Bayelsa, Kogi, 6 others as Lagdo Dam releases water. And away from Nigeria, death toll rises to 2,000 in Afghanistan earthquake. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for joining. And now the news in full. Bandits have invaded Angwer Dendeli in Zaria local government area of Kaduna State, killing 4 people and injuring 5. Confirming the incident, the village head of the area, Sunusi Yusuf, said the suspected bandits struck on Friday night, shooting sporadically. He explained that the bandits had shot 9 people and abducted 5 before the arrival of security operatives who engaged the bandits in a gun duel. Daily Trust gathered that the 4 abducted victims were, however, intercepted by members of the vigilante group at Jaji area of Ikebi local government on Saturday morning and have been reunited with their families.
Allahu Akbar.
May all their souls rest in peace. Now, hunters in Bauchi State have decried the inadequate support from government as they advocate the establishment of a special agency that will streamline anti-banditry counter-offensive across the state. Adamu Imam, complete report.
Activities of kidnapping and armed banditry in Nigeria have become the order of the day, with attacks on female students of tertiary institutions in recent times. State of Kebbi, Zamfara, and recently Katsina have all not been spared as fears and concerns rise. As efforts intensify to curb the menace, Bauchi Hunters Association is lamenting why it calls neglect from government despite their contributions to security. Those on ground need real support from the government. We should be provided with modern weapons to crush bandits, but no government is recognizing our efforts. That notwithstanding, we are still doing our jobs. In all the 20 local government areas in Bauchi, our men are on ground to ensure people sleep with their 2 eyes closed. It is high time the government created a ministry for local security outfit in Nigeria so that the country will be safe for all. He also alleged elitist collusion in the rising insecurity across the country. If Nigerians come together, the better. Those bandits are not up to the population of one state in Nigeria. Collaboration from state to state can make more impact in dealing with the security challenges. Recently, a Nigerian train was attacked between Kaduna and Abuja. It is rather unfortunate. After you hear stories of security agencies promising to launch onslaughts on hideouts of bandits. Some residents say collaboration with hunters and vigilante groups is yielding positive results, hence they should be encouraged by the government at all levels.
But at least government is supposed to provide them good materials that they were supposed to be working with.
Government should try and make the effort and collaboration with these local security agencies like in committee and so on and so forth, so that if government try to call them and sit with them, so that they will know how to help the government to tackle this insurgency in Nigeria.
The hunters who are sure that if given the needed support by the government, armed bandits will be history, challenge the bandits to battle if they had the courage. Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now, a mentally ill man on a rampage has killed 8 people and injuring several others at Katagamji community in Limbo ward of Shelenk local government area of Adamawa State. Witnesses say the knife-wielding unstable man attacked residents on Wednesday night, killing 8 persons and injuring 3 others. The police spokesperson in Adamawa, Suleiman Guruji, warned families against keeping mentally unstable persons at home instead of health facilities capable of attending to them. The police is, however, investigating the incident. Meanwhile, the Nasarawa State Command of the Nigeria Police has addressed over 30 cases of alleged manhood disappearance in different parts of the state. Public Relations Officer of the command, Ramhan Nsel, revealed this while speaking to Trust TV in Lafia. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in the report as presented from our studio.
In recent days, cases of alleged male genital disappearance became rampant in some part of Nasarawa State, owing to alarm raised by supposed victims of the incident. The incident made the police command to involve strategies to curtail it. Speaking on the issue, the public relations officer of the command, Ramhan Nasel, said the investigations carried out shows the incidents were as a result of false alarm raised by the supposed victims.
None of these cases has been proven beyond reasonable doubt to be true. In essence, these cases of mysterious manhood disappearance, they are as a result of fear and false alarm being raised by the supposed victims of manhood disappearance.
According to the PPRO, the cases of the alleged manhood disappearance were recorded in 3 local governments of Lafia, Nasarawa, Egon, and Kefi. He further explained that proper medical investigation to ascertain the genuineness of the allegation and prosecution by the command led to a drastic reduction in the cases of the incident in the state.
We first recorded this incident sometime around June, July, late June and early July. And it went on till around August before it started going down gradually. And this is as a result of measures taken by the command to make sure anyone who raises false alarm are being prosecuted.
He maintained that over 30 cases investigated shows that the incidents are caused by emotional illusion, which makes them to create false alarm of being victims. The command advised the public to avoid raising false alarms and instead report any incident to the nearest police station. A supposed suspect, Abubakar Ibrahim, who was rescued from possible lynching by the police when 2 of them were accused of removing the manhood of 2 people in Shabu village of Lafia local government area, said measures taken by the police was what led to the stoppage of the incident in the area.
I'm quite sure.
After arresting those of us accused of the act and victims, the victims were asked by the police to prove whether their manhoods are no longer in them. None of them could prove such. There and then, the police commissioner ordered that both complainants and suspects be arrested anytime such allegations are made. Since then, it stopped.
Abubakar commended the police for their prompt intervention in rescuing the alleged suspect.
At least 8 of the 24 persons involved in the boat accident in Kasabo community of Aguara local government area of Niger State have been rescued. The boat was conveying the passengers to the Yori Fish Market in Kebbi State when the mishap occurred. A statement by the Director of Media and Strategy, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Habibu Shishi, said they were rescued through the combined efforts of divers and boat owners. The ministry stated that they are receiving treatment before reuniting with their family members. Earlier, the State's Commissioner of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Ahmad Baba Suleiman Yumu, and the Permanent Secretary, Mayru Muhammad Man, had condoled the bereaved families while ensuring that the ministry will intensify awareness in reverend communities to foster future occurrence. Now, There is growing public concern on the prevalence of kidney disease in Borno State, causing many to call on government to improve access to quality health care in the state. Available data shows a steady rise in kidney-related cases in Borno State as families struggle to find affordable health care. Olatunji Omerin, complete report.
The state government had on the 23rd March 2022 released the sum of 50 million naira for research on all aspects of disease, with a view to developing a plan of actions towards checking its spread. The University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and the State Specialist Hospital have been managing to cope with an overwhelming number of patients who comes to undergo dialysis every week. Family of those who lost their loved ones lamented high cost of access to the service, saying many could have survived the disease if they are buoyant enough to undergo transplant aside the weekly dialysis treatment.
We trained our son to be able to earn a living with the hope that he will one day get married and have his own family. But unfortunately, he is no more. I made friends while in the hospital. Some of them have called to tell me they have also lost either a wife, son, or a mother. It is just unfortunate. At first, my mother and auntie both died in a space of 5 weeks due to kidney-related issues. The hospital sent us away because they asked us to do the dialysis, but we could not afford it, so they discharged us.
Some patients who came to the kidney center at UMTH, where they undergo dialysis twice a week, narrate their experience and challenges.
My name is Abba Kaka Babagana. To be frank with you, it is a very difficult experience, especially for someone like me who is an orphan. My father died and it's my mother who has been assisting me, including paying for the dialysis twice every week. Money is our greatest challenge because we spend like 50,000 naira every week.
We have been here for almost 4 months and we have spent nothing less than 10 million naira while waiting for the transplant. We have tried to get a match, but it has not yielded any positive results.
I was diagnosed in 2017. When I saw the symptoms, I didn't take them serious, but I visited the hospital. Before the symptoms appeared, my legs were swollen. So we came and they said we need to start the dialysis. We suffered a lot. I'm a businessman. We urgently need assistance because by the end of this year, I don't think I can be able to do the dialysis on my own.
Professor of Nephrology Ibrahim Umate said the center is overwhelmed because of the alarming rate of patients trooping in daily.
Yes, it's true. It's overwhelmed. As I told you, the prevalence rate in Maiduguri is almost 18%, as opposed to 12 to 13% in the entire nation, and 10 to 11% in the world prevalence rate. So since we have prevalence rate that is higher than other regions, we have to have this more burden of disease that is coming to the hospital. We see almost 5 to 10 new cases every clinic day, and we do our clinics once a week. And likewise, during admissions rounds in the department, we usually admit in the range of 5 to 7 patients on a daily basis.
Stakeholders express concern over the rise in kidney disease in the state, calling on the state government to expedite actions to ensure that the menace is brought to its knees.
The issue of kidney disease in Borno State has become very fundamental, such that almost nowadays we experience the case in a very rampant manner.
As I'm talking to you now, even recently, my chairperson women committee died as a result of kidney. Because of the hardship she undergo, we have to complain to the Borno State government.
The residents said it has become necessary for them to question the whereabouts of the report of a research conducted with the grant of 50 million naira released by the Borno State government to the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital on the 23rd March last year. They urge the state government to launch an inquiry to find out the stage of the report, if any, and make it public as a way of finding solutions to the menace. Olatunji Omerin, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Now, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has alerted Nigerians to expect floods as Lagdo Dam in Cameroon releases water from its dam. The agency noted that 9 states may be affected by the recent release of water from the dam, which is expected to last till the end of this month. This was disclosed by the Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed, while giving an update on the release of water from Lagdo Dam and consequential flooding of communities along the banks of River Benue. The states to be affected are Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Anambra, Edo, Delta and Bayelsa states, respectively. Ahmed said the recent release has led to the displacement of communities and could lead to the destruction of crops and other infrastructure. The agency cautioned authorities of state and local governments along rivers Niger and Benue basin areas to immediately activate their emergency response plans to avert potential damage and losses that will arise due to the flooding of communities. NEMA promised to give further updates as it expects to receive updates from the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NESWA, NIMET NEMA Operations Office in Yola, Adamawa State, and from state emergency agencies of the frontline states. You are watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming off after the break, we will tell you the story of how sesame seed plays a key role in Tangale culture. Details of these and more after the break. Please stay with us.
Let's take you on a ride through a series of colors, events, concerts, and lots more. Are you planning an event? EventScope has you covered. Make Trust TV your #1 choice to cover your event. Call 080-3591-0553. EventScope, making your event classic. Follow us on all of our social media platforms at Trust TV News for latest updates on EventScope.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our top stories. Bandits kill 4, injure 5 others in Kaduna State, and 8 rescued in Niger about mishap. Now moving on to other stories. Transport operators in Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, are decrying low patronage by travelers at motor parks, stifling their income significantly. A cross-section of members of the transport union say they can no longer afford to cater the needs of families due to low patronage. Report.
Following the implementation of fuel subsidy removal at the beginning of the present administration of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the prices of everything began to increase day by day, particularly transport fares within the state. According to some commuters, their businesses involve journeying from one place to another, which they said has become too expensive following the rise in fare. They noted that travelers and other stakeholders in the sector no longer embark on their regular journeys, but have resorted to pay drivers to bill their goods to their various customers in their respective destination. Johanna Samuel, Irati Sadi, and Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad are some of the commuters who interact with Trust TV. They stated that the situation is getting harder with every passing day. Johanna, who is traveling from Jalingo to Zinc local government, said before the removal of fuel subsidy, he paid 500 naira, but he now pays 1,200 naira. While Abubakar Sadiq Muhammad, who is going to Yola for his business transaction, says he goes to Yola almost 3 times a week, but now he can hardly go once in a month.
Before I used to go in a month, they reach like 5 times, even 7 times, but now like this, you don't reach 2 months now, now 1 time now.
Even though when we had to say because of the fuel price, the pump price has increase, so that is why the price is so high.
Removal of this subsidy, like really affects a lot of people, not only drivers, a lot of people. Even when it comes to like in terms of food, even food now is high.
Some of the drivers and booking staff stated that there is no profit to sustain their lives and those of their families, as according to them, travelers, especially those living outside the state, prefer to hand their goods over to drivers so that they can deliver it to their customers in their respective locations at a cheaper rate.
Formerly, in a month, we go like 6 or 7 trips. But now we can only go like 2, 3 because of our customers are no more coming because of the increasement of the fuel.
So we want government to do something about it. We want government to look at it, to do something and look at the condition we are into now. Let government have mercy on us.
The manager, A.G. Damfullo, Ibrahim Wakil, said their workers are no longer coming to the office on regular basis like before due to the low patronage they are experiencing now in the park. He stresses the transport fare from Jalingo to Port Harcourt before is 12,000 naira, but now is 18,000 naira, while Lagos, which was 15,000 naira before, is now 28,000 naira. And while Kano is 10,000 naira as against the previous 4,500 naira.
Even motor parks have become too expensive for us. Now that we cannot afford them like it used to be then. Why? Because if any sector you go to, they will tell you that the increment in fuel, so everything is affecting them too. So now everything has become times 2.
Both drivers, travelers, and union executive members called on the federal government to do the needful so as to reduce the hardship on the masses.
Traditional norms and values are elements that shape each tribe, providing a unique identity for people. The culture of Tangale tribe in Gombe State mandates men to give 1.5 bag of sesame seeds as part of the dowry before any marital relationship can be validated in the community. Trustee Ibrahim Ismail meets a couple who shared their experience of the practice. Take a look.
Sesame is an important commodity in Tangale tribe. Hence, young men who intend to marry must present at least a bag of it as part of the dowry, which includes 2 goats and chickens. 35-year-old Ali Kadri married in 2011. He recalls cultivating sesame, which he proudly presented to his love.
I farmed the sesame for myself. That's why I told you that if you did not farm the sesame, you are having the farm and you didn't farm it for yourself. You didn't show that you are ready to get married. I farm the sesame for myself in the village. I get 1.5 bags. We have granted it all.
Yadda na ji lokacin da aka kawo mun riɗin aure na yi farin ciki sosai.
I was excited when my husband presented sesame for our wedding. I was very happy among my friends because I will get my own home.
Sauran yan uwana yan mata da muke tare da su.
According to the Tangale marital tradition, presenting sesame is mandatory before contraction of any marriage. And most importantly, the culture gives special status to young men who cultivate the crops on their farm than those who buy the commodity in the market.
Wow. Let me say I feel proud as a young man because I cultivated the sesame seed myself and I'm going to present it to the woman of my choice. It's something to be proud of, actually. And the farming actually is not easy. To farm a sesame and get a bag, it's not a lazy man something.
It is one of the forum that the whole family members come together. Remember, they are not only going to eat the benefit, they are going to eat the meat that goat is going to produce. Because the meat is going to be cooked and the benefit is going to be fried and grinded. So they will come together, By the time the lady is, making some nonsense, the first thing you will ask her, remember my benefit. Tonight the reading, remember my benefit. So it sounds very high.
The inclusion of sesame as part of the dowry in Tangle community makes the seed more valuable in the market, with 100 kg bag of the crop selling for above 100,000 naira. We sell a lot of sesame, especially in the Ember month, because of the wedding rituals that normally take place in December. But no matter how expensive the price of sesame is, the seed remains part of the dowry of Tangle people, which they pledge to uphold. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Indeed, Nigeria's multi-ethnicity is what makes her one of the greatest countries on earth. Now, moving forward, the hazy weather witnessed last week in Borno State affected flights at the Maiduguri International Airport, as some passengers could not be flown to their destinations. But a few days later, the hazy weather, which looked like the onset of Harmattan, was washed off by rains. Some air passengers in Maiduguri shared their experience with Petrus Gurisi. Report.
The hazy weather which happened in Maiduguri metropolis last week did not just affect residents and motorists' visibility and ability to navigate around town, but also impacted the health status of some people. The Harmattan-like weather came with some health problems like respiratory issues, conjunctivitis, and some level of unease for asthmatic patients. It didn't also spare flight schedules at the Maiduguri International Airport, as 2 flights were delayed for hours while others were cancelled. Some of the passengers who booked for air trips shared their experience with Trust TV.
When I heard that, initially my first thought was there was going to be a lot of turbulence. The pilot is going to have to maneuver a lot of those cloudy weather, but thankfully our pilot was experienced, and we had like a smooth ride. A slight delay, but it was a smooth one for me.
I'm an asthmatic patient, so for me it's kind of a little bit hard. I don't know about others, but for myself, you have to put some Vaseline on my nose so that to prevent all the dust from affecting me. They just tell us about the condition of the weather, but it doesn't. They told us that it's not affecting us from landing, and there's nothing that will happen. That's it. That we're calm. They just tell us about the degree Celsius of both Maiduguri and Abuja, and then we are here calmly. Everything is just cool. It just came like this. Nobody expected that. We just woke up with the dusty weather, and suddenly the rain just fell. So this is something that happened for once. Since I know myself, I've never seen such kind of thing. So
yeah, the experience was terrible because I have a business meeting to attend here, which it affected my business for that day. Fortunately, they have to even forward the business meeting till this week. That is why even I was able to come today.
And now, away from Nigeria, the death toll from powerful earthquakes in western Afghanistan is estimated to be 2,000 people. A senior Taliban leader has said, and then the toll might further go up in one of the deadliest quakes to hit the country in 2 decades. Sohail Sehen, the Taliban spokesperson based in Qatar, said that many people are missing and rescue operations are underway to recover people trapped in debris in the wake of magnitude 6.3 earthquake in Herat province. The multi-quakes on Saturday hit 40 kilometers, about 20 miles northwest of the city of Herat at about 11 a.m. on Saturday. With one measuring magnitude 6.3, the U.S. Geological Survey said strong aftershocks were felt in the neighboring Baghdad and Farah province. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news, program and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching and bye for now.